Hello, Macomb. Welcome to Macomb 8 News. I'm Quentin Cornelius III here with breaking news. Bob Ewell has been found dead underneath the tree. Macomb Sheriff Heck Tate discovered the body with a kitchen knife lodged in his chest. And now live to Macomb, Alabama, the scene of the crime. Here's John Johnson from Macomb 8 News.
Thanks, Quentin. I'm John Johnson here with Macomb Sheriff Heck Tate. Good morning, Sheriff.
Howdy, John.
So, what did you find at the scene of the crime last night when you investigated?
Well, when I had arrived, I spotted Bob Ewell lying underneath the tree on the right of the property. He had a kitchen knife done up in his chest as if someone had stabbed at him.
Did you find anything that might clue us into how this might have happened?
Well, I think that Bob Ewell had been purchasing some alcoholic drinks with his welfare checks. When he had enough drinks, he went out in search of the Finch children, Jeremy and Jean Louise Finch. He was very angry at Atticus for defending Tom Robinson and trying to prove that it was Mayella that tried to have intercourse with Tom.
So, how was Bob Ewell killed whilst trying to attack the kids?
Well, as he was following the kids back from their pageant on Halloween night, he tackled them onto the ground and tried to attack them. Jean Louise had gotten out unharmed, but Jeremy had gotten his arm done broke. As he tried to stab Jean Louise, he tripped and fell on his own knife and stabbed himself in the chest.
So, you're saying that...
Yep, Bob Ewell done killed himself.
Wow. Well, thanks for your time here, Mr. Tate.
Pleasure to be here.
And now we go to Brian O'Brien with Miss Jean Louise Finch.
Thanks, John Johnson. I'm Brian O'Brien here in Macomb with little Miss Finch, the victim of Mr. Ewell's attacks.
Howdy there, Mr. O'Brien.
So, how did you encounter Mr. Ewell that night?
Well, I was on the way home from production in the school. I was dressed in my hand costume. As we were walking, me and my brother Jim, we thought we heard someone following us. So we called out because we thought it might be our friend Cecil Jacobs trying to scare us again. When we called out, there was no one there to answer. But then Bob Ewell went and attacked us.
Did you get any injuries?
No, not really. My hand costume has metal wire on it, but it has a couple stab marks in it.
Ah, I see. What happened next?
Well, I heard Jim scream and fall to the ground. I thought Bob Ewell was going to come get me.
Well, he didn't, of course.
Yeah, I thought that Jim got himself together and attacked Bob Ewell, but later I found out that Mr. Ewell had tripped and fell on his own knife. Then a strange man brought me and Jim home. I later found out that it was Mr. Boo Radley.
Thank you for being here, Miss Finch. Now we're going to Phil Jones and Mr. Arthur Finch.
Thanks, Brian O'Brien. I'm Phil Jones in Macomb with the father of the victims of the attack, Mr. Atticus Finch. Hey, Mr. Finch.
Good morning, Mr. O'Brien.
So, Mr. Finch, what were your thoughts when you heard that your kids were attacked?
I was worried. Mr. Arthur Radley had Jem unconscious on his shoulder, and Jean Louise was following.
What are your feelings towards Bob Ewell?
Well, I honestly didn't think that he would take that course of action. I thought he was done after he spat in my face.
I see. Who do you think killed Bob Ewell?
Well, at first I thought it was my son, Jeremy. I didn't want him to be hidden from the law, though. I wanted him to go to court regardless of who is guilty.
Was it your son?
No, it wasn't. Sheriff Tate told me that Bob Ewell had tripped and fallen on his own knife, thus killing him.
Interesting. One last question before we're out of time. Did either of your kids acquire any injuries besides Jem being unconscious?
Jean Louise didn't. She was protected by her ham costume for the production at her school. Jem, on the other hand, had a broken arm.
I'm sorry to hear that. Well, that's it for time. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Well, now back to Quentin Cornelius III.
Well, that's all we have for today's news. Thanks for watching. Tune in later for a traffic and weather update. Macomb News, signing off.